introduction. I have to say, that person that you see on the picture, that's not really me. That's another, this is all an imposter. This isn't real. Tonight's not real. It's amazing. I just have to take a moment here and just say thank you, first of all, to all the Hall of Fame alumni that I've just gotten to meet, several tonight, and what an elite crowd I feel a part of. I do want to thank the Hall of Fame committee of Jeff Gray and Ann, Dylan and Becky, Donnie and Dan Lucas. It's quite words can't express. There's several moments in life that we all go through, different stages, and I feel like I've completed another stage, and I just truly honored. And actually, Paul took a lot of the stories I was going to share, some of them, but I do have to say the sacrifice. There's a common bond with all of us tennis players, and that has to do with the game of tennis. It's competition, but it's also sportsmanship and integrity and calling your own balls and getting along with other people. And that part is the most important part of the game, because really it's not, when it comes down to it, it's not any of the wins, it's not any of the rankings, it's really the people that are in this audience right now. And all of you, a lot of you I haven't gotten to meet tonight, but I'd love to meet all of you. But to be around such a group of people is amazing. And I have to say, to be in this Hall of Fame with Louis, amazing. Just I honor you, and you think about the hundreds and thousands of lives you've touched, and it's all about passing it forward. And to hear what about JC, and I haven't gotten to or meet him, but what a father and parent he was. Amazing. But there are so many people that, first of all, I want to say, Jeff, from the beginning, meeting you at such a young age, it was quite amazing to have your hospitality at Mobile Country Club. And from the very beginning to tonight, you've always treated me the same, and I can't tell you how much that means. Dani Ellis has been a huge part of my life. These are my mentors, by the way. There are Dani Ellis and Jeff Gray. Pete Swindle can't be here tonight because he had knee replacement, but Donnie was teaching at the Selma Country Club when I took over at Wind Lakes. I'll never forget, Donnie, I got to meet you, and like everything else, Donnie's such a class guy. He welcomes me, he shares insight. You have to understand, I'm young, I'm 23 years old, taking over a club that I really know nothing about. I had just come off the tour at Nick Politari's tennis academy, which was tough. It was a military kind of atmosphere. And now I'm going to a country club, and I thought, I'm going to run these clinics like I run it at Politari's, or I was run at Politari's. And I'll never forget the first week I was at the club. I was teaching a team of ladies, and
we know where this is going.
Several of them came. It was supposed to go from 9 to 10:30, and I don't think any of them showed up at 9. And I was used to, if you are like a minute late, you're going to be doing like suicides. And I learned very quickly that it was okay that they come at 9:10, 9:15, 9:20 to talk, and it was just complete been around for me, but I learned very quickly to adapt. And it's just part of my learning. And I can say I learned off the cuff. But Donnie, the one thing that I have to say, you wrote me a thank you card, or not a thank you, but a welcome, congratulations, and I still have that card, and I just have to say, how many people write notes, personal notes, but that's a beautiful attribute that I think a week later I bought a bunch of stationery, and I started writing notes to people that, I could touch, and that meant so much. So many people tonight. Jerry Nixon invites me to his Pro-Am, and I have to say, Jerry, it was just amazing. I know Dan would run Pro-Ams, and I was thinking, boy, you guys run these Pro-Ams, unbelievable. And here in Birmingham, the tennis activity level is just way up, and I love that. I just have to say, Jerry and Dan, thanks for giving me all these ideas, because all the ideas that I've taken at the club, it's really impressive, all the things that you guys have shared with me. And I just have to say thank you. And Richard, it's great to be with you, and just have to say thank you for your friendship all these years. And I do want to say, we lost some great ones that were in this group, and I want to honor them because I never want to lose sight. Just like we have an honoree tonight, Kurt Keeney and Newton Cox, Wade Heron, John McWilliams, Charlie Lane. They all were, again, gave me a little bit of who I am tonight, and I just want to honor them as well. There is so many people tonight, for example, that have come to join me, and I just am honored, thrilled to death. Of course, my wife Leah, and my brother Andres. And interesting, Andres, I'm so proud of you. I can't tell you. Andres, at 15, I don't want to brag on my brother because I think in school at the same age, I was leaving home to go to Bollettieri's. My brother was born. Fast forward, my brother's now 15 years old, living in Chicago with my family, and I'm now a new brother. And my parents are going through a divorce. Tough time. As anybody can imagine, a divorce of family that mom and dad think they're perfect and everything's going to last forever. And I asked my parents, and I'm newly married. I'm just second year out of my marriage. This is in 1990. I can't even think of the year.
97.
1997?
Yeah.
Okay, 1997, gosh. The time is flying. So at 15, my brother comes to live with us, Leah and I. We're newly married, and my brother's just starting the game of tennis. He would come during the summertime, stay with me for maybe a month or two, but he was an all-time great athlete, played basketball, baseball, football, anything. But anyways, Andres comes to live with us, and he joins my academy of tennis players, and he's by far, just starting. He's the worst on the team, and in 3 years, he's number one in the state. And it's like what you can do, and obviously the work and hard work and looking up to what you can do anything. And it's not about time. You don't have to start when you're 7 or 8 or 9. You can start when you're 15. And he went on to play tennis at Samford University with Jenny Robb. Jenny's here tonight. And it's just so neat to see two teammates playing, and I'm just so proud of you. So good job. I want to share Mike Baranko tonight. Mike and Judy are here with their lovely daughter Gracie, and I have to just share a little story. The Barankos, I've known them since I started at the club in 1988, and they have 6 children, and she's the number 5, Gracie. She is still working for me in the tennis shop, although she's at Auburn University now. But I've had every one of their children work in the tennis shop for the last, all 6 of their children have come through, and now I have their last child, Max, who's a senior. He'll be a senior. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get somebody else, some other family with 6 more kids to work this work. You know how unemployment is really hard right now. So if there's anybody out there who wants to dedicate their children to help, I'd appreciate it. But great story. Graham, thanks for making this trip. Unbelievable. He's been on our board, and he's such a big part of our Win Lakes family. John Sadie, our manager at our club, and I just have to say, John, you're amazing. John is one of the most amazing, not only is he our manager, but he's also one of the best golf pros in this area and coached numerous college teams, played for University of Arkansas, and his roommate in college and partner was John Daly. So you can imagine the stories that were going on between you and John. Amazing. Kim and Greg Littlefield, dear, you guys are soulmates. And Lauren Griffin, unbelievable for you to make this trip. And Lauren just had a baby, Lennon, and Lennon's this world. We're gonna bring her playing tennis as soon as possible. Congratulations. How old is Lennon now? 2 months. 2 months. So amazing. Wow. I have to say Bill and Jane, Bill Freeman, Jane Albright are here tonight. And Bill's son, JC, or John Crawford Freeman, is now at Inverness Country Club, and very proud of him. He'll be one of the next inductees, I hope, soon to follow. But I have to say thank you. What a journey this has been. Jane, thanks for coming. Liz, amazing Liz, for you to make this trip. If anybody needs any travel arrangements, she's a travel agent. She can help you anywhere you want to go in this world. She'll throw in some freebies for you guys for sure. I want to say Frank Magoo. Frank, thanks for your friendship and just, you're amazing. Frank, I can't say enough about you, buddy. Suzanne and Kevin, thanks for making the trip. Suzanne Tress, she's been working with me. She's our comptroller. She's really my boss. And she's been my boss since we were both 23 years old. It's true. We've been both, she's actually worked longer than me. We've both been at the club for 35 years, which we've seen each other grow from. I used to have a lot of hair, and you see that picture. That's how I used to look. But and you look unbelievable. You look just as good. And that's not hitting on your wife. Paul and Connie. Paul was in my wedding. So Paul's been not only a part of my life, so dear to be in my wedding, but he also watched me play when I played for Pepperdine at the Blue Gray Collegiate Tournament. Oh. We actually beat Georgia in the finals of that tournament. And at the time, Jack Bushman was running the tournament, and the Treadwells were in charge of the housing. And it'd be funny to think, the cool thing about the Blue Gray is that you are always staying with families, and that's a really neat event. It's the Blue Gray Classic. Is all the players playing and the coaches, they all stay with families around the area. And so these families have a bond. And sure enough, 1985, I can say, still friends with Mary Cochran, stayed on Tensall and Arrowhead, and sure enough, several years later, I moved to Montgomery and still have that bond. So, Paul, thanks again for all you do for Blue Gray. Influenced my wife to be housing director for over 9 years, which is phenomenal. So Leah, that's amazing. 180 kids, and adult, I should say players and coaches to instrument all of the organization is quite remarkable. I want to say Jewel, thanks for always being around, taking pictures. The notoriety that you bring about the game is wonderful. And people always love to see smiles. And anytime you watch any of Jewel's pictures, it's people smiling and having fun. And that's what life is about right there. You're capturing the moment. Thank you. And Jenny did the same thing. You were amazing with how you brought out the game, and you still bring out the game, and you continue that. Jerry, Jerry Caesar, thank you for everything you've done for me with the Alabama Tennis Association. And it's so great to see Elaine Francis tonight. And Elaine, I love you, and you're amazing. So, again, always treating me so special. There are, like I said, there are a few people, again, I want to honor. It's all about, I want to say, tonight's about my inductee, but I want to honor these other people. They're not here tonight. They would be here tonight, that we lost just in the last few years. A lot of you won't know them, but touched my heart, our hearts, Win Lake's hearts, Conrad Naftel, Stan Sherlin, Lance Brown, Paul Portwood, Kelly Moore, Clifford Lanier, and Jim Wilson. So, Jim Wilson was the owner of our club, and he gave me this chance to be the tennis professional, now director at Win Lakes, and I owe him a debt of gratitude. And I can tell you, I learned from experience that, if you practice hard, you get better. If you hit against the wall, you get better. If you hit 1,000 balls, hundreds of thousand balls, you get better. And then it's about commitment. So staying with it. I had a commitment to stay at Pepperdine, and I left after 3 years. And I felt like I cheated myself. And I never wanted to lose that commitment again. And so I know when I make a commitment, it's solid. I'm not going to be in. I'm promising you I'm going to play 4 years and leave after 3. That's just not right. And so, Leah, I've been married to you for 28 years. I'll be married to you the rest of my life. That's a commitment forever. With the Wilson family, I've been with Win Lakes for 35 years, and I'll be there for as long as I can give it. And it's wonderful. What a job that I can touch people's lives and get paid for it at the same time. So I do have to say, again, talk about the commitment and all these accolades of how good I was. To me, the passion of sharing a smile with a child, and I don't care how good they are, that's what it's about for me. It's caring for everybody who ever is in my presence. And that is the great sport of tennis. And what's interesting is life begins with love. You're born into this world with love all around you. And guess what tennis starts with? Love. It starts with love. And so, it begins with love, and just like the game of life, it will also end with love. So I do want to just say thanks again from the bottom of my heart, all of you coming out here. And I do have to say that the couple really awards, or I should say highlights in my career, actually aren't the playing. That sounds fancy, but the things that are dear to my heart. I've been running tournaments since 1988 for the USTA, and we have 4 or 5 tournaments a year, sanctioned tournaments. So in the last 35 years, I've gotten to run 140 sanctioned USTA tournaments, which is fantastic. And then with the club, Jack Sharp, who was so dear to me, to sacrifice so much, getting picked up from the train station, taking me home. Literally, he was giving me tennis lessons at 1 in the morning, from 1 to 2 in the morning, once a week, and taking me home at 2 in the morning, because he lived right across the street from our neighborhood, our apartment complex. But at our club, he had a Hall of Fame at our club, and there were 25 pictures of kids that had won a national championship. So to get on the wall, you had to win a national championship. And I thought, this is so cool that, everybody wants to be on the wall. And that just motivates all 600 kids that were at our program in Chicago to want to compete. And you think about that, wow, that's huge. You got to be a national championship to be on that wall. So, of course, when I come to Win Lakes, thinking, okay, I'm going to try to see if I can do a Hall of Fame like my coach, Jack Sharp, only to know that it's going to be tough to win for anybody to win a national championship, probably at our club. So we established, if you win a state championship, or you go on to play college tennis, both, you get on the wall. And sure enough, we have 48 kids from 1988. J.C. Freeman is one of those, and countless others. My brother Andres is on there, and their pictures are on the wall forever. And I think that's a wonderful testament that I feel like they can come back to and show that they worked hard. So again, thank you so much for tonight. Jeff, thanks again.